Hello. Great, beautiful, blessed afternoon. Nobody saw that, right? Nobody saw that at all. Not at all. No, we're good. Hi, guys. Uh, if you've never been here before, welcome to Happily Healed with Tenille podcast. My name is Tenille Stewart. I help women who've been diagnosed with lupus go from confused and discouraged to healed, hopeful, and in control of the medical narrative. Here today, I would love to talk to you about traveling with a chronic illness. We've spoken about it before briefly, and there's just a few more things I would like to say because I am leaving to go to St. Louis for the first time on Wednesday. So this morning I found out that bees scientifically should not be able to fly. Do y'all see me? Is everybody seeing me? See me on all the things? I can check. I'm gonna check. So bees are scientifically. Oh, thanks, Persia. Pure Shia. I said it right. I know I did. I practice sometimes. Hey, Jermaine. So Facebook is seeing me. What about everywhere else? Okay, awesome. Thank you. Facebook, not on IG. It says I'm live on IG. Wait a minute. I see people on IG. Check again. Great afternoon. Thank you. Hi. Hey, Malika. Hey, Macy. For y'all listening, this is a live podcast that I do on social medias. So, you know who I excluded? I'd be excluding these people too. Let me get on my tickety-tockety. Don't know why I excluded them today. Anyhow, like I was saying, thank you guys for your cooperation. Pierre Shah. I know I'm saying it right. I know I am. How did I say it before? That's how I said it. That's how I thought I was saying it. I was saying it wrong. Dang it, girl. I have never had a friend that I cannot say their names ever in my life. And I have some complicated name friends in other languages and stuff. It's weird. Anyways, so bees are scientifically not supposed to be able to fly. It is a good thing that they are unaware because they pollinate for us and they make it so we are able to do so many things, grow so many plants. And if they were aware that they could not fly, we would all be in trouble, okay? Going live on the tickety-tockety. Now they can see me. So I say that because after my first major flare-up, I was told not to go anywhere. Essentially, not to fly anymore because of the blood clotting factors, and not to, exert myself or do too much and like relax and da-da-da. I am not that type of person. So they couldn't keep me down. I called a few people that I used to travel with. I used to be in a travel club, and we traveled a lot. And let's say, so my major flare was in like 2010-ish. And then I got into that travel club the end of 2012. So the 2013, I went on 7 trips. So I went from no trips to 7 trips in a calendar year. So my first trip was to Tennessee. I was living in New York at the time. And I was told by all of my doctors, and I was better by then, like not 100%, but like I could walk around and be incognito. People didn't know that like I had, chronic illness or whatever, like invisible illness, just walking around amongst the normals. And I 100% believed that I could travel. I was just scared. I was still scared because people were telling me on a regular basis, like, don't get on a plane, don't overexert, don't whatever. So I asked these people that I went on my first trip with this company with. It was like 5 or 6 of us meeting up with like 1,000 people for the company conference. So I asked, how was I on that first trip, knowing to myself that I was scared, not just scared, I was scared, like scared. Okay. And they told me, well, different people said different things. One person, she's pregnant, so she didn't remember much except she was real nauseous, and this was the first time meeting me in person. Another person said, 2 people said I complained a lot, and I was slow, and I had to take a lot of breaks and sat down a lot. So I was, I didn't know them that well yet, so I didn't explain to them the chronic illness portion of it, and like how, I might need extra assistance. And another person said I carried a lot of things. I had so much stuff because being prepared for being sick. And she had, at that point, had never seen anybody wear compression stockings, and had worn compression stockings or wasn't at first, and my legs swole up or something. And yes, I remember very vividly my legs being very swollen. I remember having 2 people on either side of me, like holding me to walk because I was in pain. I don't remember complaining, but I'm certain I was complaining a lot, which is something that I'm torn about. Like, complaining doesn't help anything, right? However, as somebody with chronic illness, there's a lot of masking that you're doing 24/7. That's like, I didn't want to make people uncomfortable because they're with me while I'm in pain, and there is nothing that they can do about it. People like to be able to be a solution to a problem. So if you're just watching someone suffer, it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable for me. It's uncomfortable for you. So to aid in that, to not make them uncomfortable, you tend to just, everything is fine. A leg falls off. I'm great. Everything's wonderful. An arm falls off. It's great, amazing. Your thumb just falls off. I'm fine. Everything's fine. It's just something that, I don't know if it's as humans, as chronic illness people, as women. I'm not sure what it is. I just know that it's something that we tend to do. So it's hard when it's like a physical thing that's happening that you cannot deny. Like, yes, I'm limping right now. Yes, my legs are swollen right now, noticeably, that you can tell that this is going on. So that was how my first trip went. And I knew after that first trip, after I made it to that first trip, that I was going on every trip available to me. And I did. For several years in a row. I went on at very least 7 trips a year. So I learned a few things, and I'm going to share a couple of those things with y'all. So when I realized that getting nervous, and I was very nervous to get on those flights and they weren't long flights. The first flights I took that first year, not very long flights, because of the blood clot. I knew like people have died midair because of blood clotting. And just being out of the state to where I couldn't get to any of my doctors. I couldn't go to the hospitals that they knew me by name. I was out of my comfort zone. I also wasn't traveling with my family, which when I was really sick, like recovering, my parents would take me on trips. Just like we would go to like Niagara Falls, something, a long drivable, something like, to get me out of my mind and into my body, so I could look at beautiful things, whatever. Like, I don't know if anybody else does that, but that's how my parents dealt with me being depressed and sick. So during going on those type of trips, I felt safe because I had my parents, had my family members, otherwise, like, that were going to take care of me if something happened, if anything. So me traveling alone was a huge deal to me. It was like, they said I would never do this again. Because I've been traveling since I was 2 years old. I didn't say that part. Like my mother is from Jamaica. My father is from England. I've been bouncing back and forth between those two places my entire life. 2 years old was the first time I went to Jamaica. Like I have a 2-year-old passport, you know? So I've never been afraid of flying or traveling until they told me to be afraid of flying and traveling. But I found out that excitement and being afraid are the same physical manifestation. So the same, the body reacts the same. You know, like sometimes you're excited, your palms will sweat, your heart will beat faster. You like get like antsier, like, you know, your voice will change a little. You're excited or you are scared. Now, the difference is you have to tell your brain what you are. So if you keep saying, and even if you don't think about it, you're saying in your mind, oh, I'm so scared, I'm so nervous, oh my goodness, like, like this is terrifying, da da da. You're the one deciding that. You can take those same ball of emotions that you feel, that pit in your stomach could be excitement. That pit in your stomach, that closing up throat could be excitement instead of being afraid. So for me, every flight I took after that first one, because that first one I was sweating and shaking and sweating. I was like, oh, let me just get through this, Lord. Like, let me be able to get through this flight. And I figured that out after that trip. When I got home and I was safe and I was all the way alive, I was a little swollen, a little tired, a little, you know, I had to take some time to recover after that. But I was alive. I was like, listen, they can't tell me nothing. So after that, I made sure I was very intentional about not only the things that I packed that I needed and like the prep before going into a trip, but also the mindset that I packed with me to go on the trip. So every time that it crept into my mind, like, oh, this is scary. What if this bad thing happens? I flipped it upside down, inside out, and said, this is so exciting. What if this amazing thing happens? You know, something outrageous. I was like, wow, like, would it be crazy if I just met this celebrity on the flight? Or, you know, they upgraded me to first business, all the whatever the class. I'm sitting in the cockpit with the what's his name? The pilot. I'm in the cockpit now. Oh my, like that kind of thing. So if you change your afraid to excited, you could change your entire experience. The way that you experience the world is between you and your brain. So if you ever heard like physiology, motion creates emotion. My friend Bren says, Win with Bren on Instagram. She says, when the body moves, the mind grooves, and that is legit what it is. So if you are nervous, but you want it to be excited, maybe like jump around, maybe like, you know, do some hand motions and sing a song real loud, get your body moving to remind your mind that it's not scared that you're scared, it's excited that you're excited. So after that, my packing list is pretty standard with things that I'm going to do, but I start packing, not physically, because I'm a last minute packer when it comes to that, but mentally, emotionally, and health wise, at least a week or two beforehand. So I am monitoring sleep. I am taking oregano oil. I am taking extra vitamin C. I am taking vitamin D. I am, you know, making sure that I am physically doing activity a little higher than I would normally do activity, just to get my stamina right, because I was embarrassed that first time. That first trip when I couldn't keep up with everyone and I had to sit down a lot. And yeah, I was just like, ugh, it sucks, because it wasn't that I was super insanely out of shape weight wise. Like my weight was kind of my standard weight. It was that I didn't have the endurance because I had been laying down a lot, sitting down a lot, doing, you know, what the doctor ordered, like don't do too much. I was doing so not too much that I wasn't doing much of anything. And it was to my detriment. I actually was feeling super lethargic, and like it was hard for me. Like a something that motion stays in motion, that includes your body. Like my body was just tired and used to laying around, so it just was laying around. Uh, so I start, uh, if I can, 2 weeks. That's not always something I can do. So at least a week beforehand, I start monitoring like what is my physical, emotional, mental state going to be on this trip. I start praying different prayers. I'm like, Lord, make sure that this, that, and that. Like I'm setting intention for this trip. It's not going to be that it's random and like I don't know how it's going to turn out. It turns out great because I am intentional with the way I walk into the situation. So if doctors have told you don't travel, I'm not a doctor, so I can't tell you to defy them. But I do. I just, I'm not crazy, and I'm not, I'm a non-compliant patient by nature. I like to do things that are exciting. I don't like to do things that are stupid. And I'm not like, jumping out of planes without a parachute. However, I am going to see what the limit is. I am going to see, like, they told me that I can't do this. If the bumblebee was told scientifically, you should not be able to fly because the size of your little tiny wings and the size of your big, chunky little round body, scientifically, it doesn't make sense that you are able to fly. Imagine that the bumblebee gave up and never flew. Imagine the lack of flowers that we would have, the lack of honey that you would have. Like the ecosystem would be missing a huge gap because someone told that bumblebee it couldn't fly and it believed it. So if you are out there with a chronic illness or something going on, medically, mentally, emotionally, physically, whatever it is, and someone's telling you you can't, and it doesn't make sense that you do, I would suggest you check. Just give it a try. Give it one try. I remember when I was learning how to walk again in the facility, they had set a limit that I would be there for like be in recovery there for months. And like they had my recovery laid out for the year, like how long it would take for me to hit certain milestones. Like, step count wise and strength wise and mentally, like figuring things out. And I blew everyone away with how quickly I recovered. And it wasn't that I didn't want to follow the script that they gave me. It was that I just wanted to see if I could do more. I had the goal of, in my mind, the goal was just walking through my grandma's door, like being able to go home and walk through the door. And that's all I kept seeing in my head. Like, that's all I want to do. Like, I'm not trying to run marathons or whatever. And that was the goal. It like the long-term goal. And then the short-term goal was every day, let's see if I can get them to give me a little extra therapy. Like, this is my therapy set. And sometimes I literally would be crying, tears running down my face. And I'm in the therapy room and like, they're having me, walk with this type of walker and that type of walker and like learning how to take certain strides and whatever. And I would still just be like, yes, please, like more. And they'd be like, are you sure, Miss Stewart, are you sure? And I would just, like, I'm ready. Like, let's, like, even if it hurt, because I knew the goal for the day was to do more than they said I was supposed to do that day. Then after that, the next day, today, my goal is to do more than what they said I can do today. And after I got out of that facility, I did, outpatient therapy, physical therapy. And then I walked a 5K at the Bronx Zoo. It wasn't, not an amazing feat for anyone else, probably, because people were running, whizzing past me. I looked a crazy hot mess, and I did not care. I just wanted to prove a point to the doctors that said it was going to take me over a year for me to walk again. That, yes, not only did I walked a 5K. So I'm going to let y'all go. And I hope that y'all understood my point here of get traveling if you need to travel, and don't be afraid to do things that the doctors tell you that you're never going to be able to do again, or you can't do, or you shouldn't do. Do it smart, but go ahead and do it. Let me read a few comments before I go. Thank you for reminding me about TikTok. Hi, TikTok. I apologize. The lighting is terrible over here because I set you up late. Great insight there from Win with Bren. Always destined for greatness facts. I need to be taking those myself. Yes, Nettie, take these supplements. Like, I'm gonna send you a link to my website that you can look at some of the supplements I take daily. And God got you in all of his. God unlimited. The doctors are limited. Just keep trusting God. Amen. Show them you can. Amen. Lupus warrior. Yes. Sea breezy cat. And Nettie, fantastic. You went beyond the limits of value. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all for being here, and have a beautiful Monday. Do the things that you actually want to do. Go the places you want to go. See the things. We only have this one life to live, and you might as well just live it in every zip code, all over the place. Make it. Go there. I'll see y'all next Monday. I don't know where I'm going to be. I might be driving, so it'll probably be on one platform and not all of them. But I'm excited. This trip is going to be fun. I've never been to St. Louis, so leave a comment when I post this. Leave a comment telling me what was your favorite trip that you have ever been on, and if you don't travel yet, what is a trip that you want to go on? Okay, when you watch this recording, I'm going to know, because you will reply with those things. Okay, all right, have a great day, guys. Thanks for being here. Bye.